I've been to 12 out of 50 states. I've been to Mexico and Canada. I've had quite a soccer career. My name is Raul Rico, and I'm here to introduce myself. To do that, I have to talk about my family, my life with sports, and some injuries. Okay, now that you have an idea, let's get started. To explain my family, we never were a physical family. We never gave hugs or physical attention, but we were always mentally supporting each other. My parents have always supported and pushed me to do different things, such as picking up instruments and trying new sports. Even though we weren't always the best at these sports or instruments. They constantly worked and did a lot of overtime, but no matter what, they supported us. And then even if they couldn't show up, they always would ask and how things would go. My older sister Delilah was always supportive to me. She was a parent figure to me. When my parents couldn't show up, she was the first one to show up. She was the one that taught me right from wrong as I followed in her footsteps before my parents could get me in trouble. My younger brother and I, Marcos, growing up, we'll always be together. You could say we were twins. Even though we're growing up and getting busier with life and sports, we always take time of our day to talk to each other. No matter what, even if it's a game of FIFA or giving advice to each other about sports. Now that I told you about my support system, I'd like to talk to you about my life with sports, of course. I spent most of my life playing sports, and it's become a huge part of my life. I've played 4 different sports growing up. I did basketball for 6 years. I ran cross country for 4. I boxed for almost a year. But the one sport that I played consistently throughout my life, and that changed my life, is soccer, of course. I played this sport since I was 4 years old. I played at one of the highest levels I could, which was academy. I played some of the best teams from each state. I played teams from outside of the United States. Soccer is something I played almost every day. 4 out of 5 days, I would have practice, and on the weekends, I'd travel 2-3 hours to go play games, almost every weekend. Even though I wasn't able to get into college for my soccer skills, I still enjoy the game. Right now, I'm coaching and training with my old coach's team because I like to play for fun. And as a result of playing sports all my life, I've got quite a few injuries. I've received quite a few bruises and concussions and pretty hard falls from being a naturally clumsy person and playing sports. In one of my first sparring sessions as a boxer, I was doing pretty good the first 3 rounds. But the guy came around in the 4th round, got me a good hook, left hook to my temple right here. I got dazed, and when I looked up at the light, I knew I had a concussion. So everything was blurry, and this wasn't my first concussion before. I've got one before while doing snowboarding. And snowboarding is a hobby I picked up when I was younger, and then whenever I go, I love doing new tricks. This year, when I went, I was trying a new trail, and I was going pretty fast. I was trying to do 360 to switch sides. I caught the board wrong, and I landed it on my shoulder and my neck. I got a whiplash, which I'm still dealing with and going to therapy for. And unlike all people, I've got quite a few stories for being clumsy. As growing up, I was a clumsy kid. My parents would always tell me I had a big old mark on my forehead from falling. And one time, coming from school, my first time riding my bike, and I thought it was so cool. I was trying to ride so fast. But my chain stalled. So I went forward, went face first in the ground in front of everyone. It was a talk of school for about 2 weeks. Even though I've always been clumsy, it's never stopped me from doing what I love. Although this isn't everything I can tell you about myself, this is a beginning I like to do. And the support of my family and my love for sports and my experience with injuries. My family and sports and all the moments that can come with the injuries, the good and the bad, are important to me. They make me who I am. Sports will always be an important part of my life, and I think thank my family for that, and I always had so much support and continue to do what I love even in my free time without feeling forced. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your ears. I hope you learned a little bit about myself, about me, and my interests.